Mark Swenson. We are here on part 6 of How to Win Your Sexual Abuse Lawsuit. And today we're talking about investigating the perpetrator. We need to know, who is this guy? Where does he work? Where has he worked in the past? Who knows him? Who his friends are? We should be talking to his ex-wives. Ex-wives are wonderful. Especially if there's a really messy divorce. Ex-wives know all sorts of things about guys. And guys can be so dumb. They commit felonies. They cheat on their taxes. They spend the rent money on dope or on girlfriends, and then they run out and get a divorce and tell the wife that they're going to try to get out of any child support and out of any spousal support, and then they run off, leaving a woman who's got really the information necessary to put them in prison. The IRS loves ex-wives. You will love ex-wives. Talk to the ex-wives. Sometimes the perpetrator knows the victim and has emailed or texted the victim. This is a big leg up because it's difficult to deny that the perpetrator has said these things. And if you are subtle and gentle, you may be able to get your client to get admissions in writing, and these admissions are usually admissible. A conversation, which is secretly recorded, is in most jurisdictions not admissible, but is admissible if it is at the behest of the police. So if it's time to do that, it may be time to involve the police. If in the investigation of the suspect mails you or you come across any child pornography, you have to stop. Do not touch the computer. Don't turn it off. Don't change programs. Don't touch anything. Call the police. It's the only thing you can do. You can't show it to anybody. You can't erase it. You can't do anything with child pornography except call the cops. And you must do that. The penalties for not doing it just that way are very, very, very severe. The cops will come and they will seize your computer, and they won't give it back. Be prepared for that. One way you may prepare for that is, if you think that there may be an occasion in which this occurs, you can dedicate a computer to that kind of investigation. You can pick up a new laptop now for $200 or $300, or you can get a thumb drive, put an image of a Linux operating system such as Ubuntu Linux on it, and boot from the thumb drive. If you go to ubuntu.com, ubuntu.com, you'll see instructions as to how to do that. And so if everything is on the thumb drive, so if there is something that needs to be seized, they can just seize the thumb drive and give you back your computer, because there has been no other contamination of the computer. But any image of child pornography, anything to do with child pornography, will absolutely contaminate your computer, and you can't erase it You can't do anything with it. You have to call the police. You want to know everything about the suspect. You want to know who knew what he was doing, what organizations he's in, who excused him. You want to know other victims. You absolutely want to know other victims and to get them involved in this case. And the reason is, as the Chinese say, 3 men make a tiger. You're going down the street, a guy runs up to you and he says, "Oh, there's a tiger around the corner." You say, "Yeah, right," because you don't see a tiger every day. You don't think that a tiger is around. Then the second guy comes up to you and says, "There's a tiger down the street," and you think, "Oh," you're a little suspicious, but you don't believe it. Third guy comes up and runs past you and says, "There's a tiger around the corner." You believe there's a tiger. 3 men make a tiger. And it's the same thing with sexual assault victims. People may not easily believe you, but if you've got a bunch of people who say the same thing, they're much more credible. So you want to get as many victims as you can. The downside of this is that there may be limited resources. There may be limited insurance. But usually there's enough insurance to cover everybody's claim. Find out all the victims you can. When you talk to the perpetrator, and this is something you probably don't want to do, when your investigator talks to the perpetrator, experienced sexual assault investigators know that the way to handle this is to be sympathetic and understanding. And they want to tell you what happened, and they will make admission after admission. You have to be sympathetic, understanding. Doesn't mean you necessarily approve of what this guy has done, but you must not be angry, judgmental. You'll shut him right down. Be sympathetic and understanding, and these guys will talk to you. From the point of view of a child molester, what they're doing to children is not harming the child. They think it's love. And they feel that lots of times that the child seduced them. It's an entirely upside down world they live in. But when you talk to them, when you're interviewing them, when your investigator is interviewing them, you need to do so in a way that is sympathetic. Now, check this guy's Facebook before you talk to him. MySpace, all of the social media, check it out. All of his employers, check them out. Make records of all of the web pages that you can find that mention him. Go to, if he was in a school, go to the school and copy off the school newsletter, the alumni magazine, especially the yearbooks are a big source of information for us. We want to know on the perpetrator. For instance, if he taught high school, we want a copy of every yearbook that he was there, including yearbooks 1 or 2 years before he was there and 1 or 2 years after, and the most current yearbook. And the reason is this: we want to find people who knew him, other kids, other students, other faculty members. Look in the section where there's a section where people take charge of clubs. Open it up and, oh, he's in charge of the photography club. Who was in the photography club? Take a look at the picture. What kids are close to him? Take a look at the picture of the office staff. Not only will you see the office staff, you may see students who worked there. Who's that kid in the picture behind the desk helping out? That child may know a lot. Secretaries are beautiful witnesses because they are underappreciated, often abused, and they change jobs. You want a secretary who was a secretary in the principal's office who was maybe fired. And if you can find one like that, you can find out an awful lot about people like this. All right. So next time we're going to talk about investigating the employer.